I just want to get your take, and I'll start with you, Connor. What do you think happens with Ibu, mate, at this point? Because we are now, as we record this, a few days away from the transfer window opening, and not just that, him being legally and contractually allowed to talk to clubs outside of England about a move in the summer on a free. And it concerns me for two reasons. One, even with the best of intentions, if they're still negotiating, the headlines are going to be written. He's going here, he's going there, he's leaning here, his agents are talking there. And it's another negative talking point amongst the fan base and frustration. So what do you think happens?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because like going what you want to happen and what will happen is very different things. But I think if you'd asked me like 3 months ago, I would have said he was definitely off. If you'd asked me the day after those Real Madrid stories were shut down, I would have said he was definitely staying. And now I'm really 50-50, to be honest. But I thought like within that week of that Madrid report coming out, I thought that would be like, right, we're going to hear now, it's nearly done, announced probably around now. But there's still just no chatter even that's getting close. Like we keep seeing the odd time that Liverpool are confident. But then the next day you see that he wants 350 odd thousand pounds a week. Like we're not going to offer him that. We'll probably offer him somewhere around the 200,000 mark or maybe a little bit less. And that it's probably fair just for the length of time he's here, the fact he plays every game, the stature of his profile in the squad and everything. But I don't know what happens at this point. Like I'd like him to stay ultimately, but again, I am just fed up of hearing about it, and I'm not going to cry about it if he does leave. But I think I'd probably say 55% stays, 45% goes at this point. But I could be completely wrong on that. And he could be signing a pre-contract with Bayern Munich next week. But I think even just his form as well doesn't help his case. Like with us or with anyone else, like who's going to give him like 250 or 300,000 pounds? So like I think, given his form, I would say he probably stays because he won't have much bargaining power with other clubs or with us, to be fair. So we'll have to back down on his demands at some point.
What would be your line in the sand if you were Richard Hughes on a wage number for him, Connor?
I'd say about 200,000. I wouldn't go above that. I'd probably try to get him on lower, but I think 200 will be the absolute max. And like I know that's high, but again, for a player who plays pretty much every single game and has been here a couple of years, like when you look at other players and other like teams who pay big wages, I think 200 probably is about fair, maybe the 180, 200 range, but I wouldn't be going up anywhere near the 250s, 300s.
I'm in exactly the same place, Chris, as Connor on that one. Anywhere from 160 to 200 I could live with. I don't think he is as important or as senior as maybe he's trying to make out negotiations. And one report worried me this week. Our friends at Anfield Index posted a quote from Dean Jones of ESPN, and it said, "It is believed that Ibrahim Konate's intermediaries have been working to get a Real Madrid move back into the picture." And that's these type of reports are what concerns me, because are the negotiations in Liverpool in good faith, or are they a delaying tactic to see what options become available?
Honestly, I suppose this isn't very YouTube friendly, so apologies, but I'm just totally indifferent. I just don't care. Like genuinely, I like about this, like the way that he's playing it is like he's some sort of like uber like important guy to this squad. I just don't think he is. Like he is a starter, but I think he's very replaceable. Like everyone we've spoken about, I think would be an upgrade on him. So I don't think he's in the position to be saying I demand, massive wages, or I'm in a position that I can go and join Real Madrid. I like, and I'm not being harsh here. I really like Konate, but I just don't think he is that good. Like seriously, even when we had the likes of Joel Matip, when Matip was at the club, I thought Matip was always above him. Kwanzaa overtook him under Jurgen Klopp. And let's not forget, Kwanzaa might return at some point with the whole.
I think he will, by the way. I think he absolutely will return.
So we're in the situation with Leone as well, is there? Like, he is probably the most replaceable player in the squad, in my opinion. Like, there's so many centre backs out there that I honestly, I would not care if he stayed, because I think he'd be great. Like, all right, decent, good player to have around. I wouldn't care if he left, because I think he's the most replaceable player we've got.
I just want it resolved publicly, Chris, before we go into January, because what I don't want is a player's performances dropping and everyone looking for reasons why, being his head being turned or blah, blah, blah. I just like to know. One way or the other, I'd like to know.
I mean, I just don't think he's got the gravitas to be doing that. I don't know where he's got this idea from. Like, if you're Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk, who have obviously contributed so much, I'm not saying he hasn't, but he's been a an extra really in comparison to them. Like, yeah, if you're Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk, you can go demanding 400 grand a week and kicking and piss around because you're just that guy. When you're someone like that, I just don't see it. I really don't see it. It sort of like it semi winds me up because I'm just like, just get on with it. Like no one really cares. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of that way as well, and I kind of just think like I'm bored of it all at this point, and we've been through too many of these over the last few years. I want to kind of throw two names together, gents, for the next centre back conversation: Nico Schlotterbeck and Alessandro Bastoni. And the reason I want to put them both together is far more strong links to Spain and potentially Germany for Schlotterbeck to Bayern Munich than there are towards us. I keep getting inundated with Liverpool fans coming into the streams at night, and like myself, all dreaming of the possibility of Bastoni, and all asking why we're not being more linked with Schlotterbeck. So Schlotterbeck at 26, heavily linked with a move to Bayern Munich. I think we can agree on that. I've seen Barcelona's name being mentioned as well. We know Madrid are in the market for a centre back. I just don't think it's likely either of those two would come to Liverpool. And Connor, I want to get your take on let's start with Schlotterbeck. Do you think we should be in the mix there? And why do you think our name isn't really being mixed around too much?
Yeah, I think it's kind of cooled off a bit. Like last few months, there's been a few links to Schlotterbeck, but it has kind of cooled off recently. But I think we could do a lot worse than him, to be fair. Like he's 26. He's I think he's a German international. I'm sure he's a very top level.
Captain at Dortmund.
Captain at Dortmund. Like he plays off the left side and he's good at long pinged balls. Maybe he could be the long-term Van Dijk successor even there, to be fair as well. Probably can play in a back three if we do go that way. I think probably not too expensive for the profile and quality of player he is due to the fact that he's coming to the end of his contract. So I think it could definitely be one. I'd definitely take him. Like I think he would be at a decent price if we could get him, but more than likely he'll end up at Bayern. But I definitely would take him because anything I've seen about him or read about him, everyone seems to rate him very, very highly. So definitely would take him.
For me, Chris, he goes into that category of I'm almost afraid to let myself think it's possible because, as Connor finished up with, in my heart of hearts, I think he does end up at Bayern.
Yeah, and I think, like, look, in terms of centre-backs that Liverpool have bought ever, if you think about it, realistically, we've not really signed many centre-backs in our Premier League history that have been at the peak of their powers, apart from one big dog.
He's done all right, hasn't he?
He's done all right. He has done well. It just doesn't seem very Liverpool, really, to go out and spend, go and buy a player like Schlotterbeck, really. I think Bastoni would be the dream for me. I genuinely think he's one of. I really want to see him in the Premier League. Like even if it's not with Liverpool, the football fan of me wants to see Bastoni in the Premier League. I just think he'd suit so well, but I just don't see him leaving Italy. It seems a bit like, you remember we were constantly linked with Nicola Barella all the time, like every single
even
window.
Paddy the Baddy, I was crying out for a bit of Nicola Barella or Nico Barella as well.
It's every single window we were linked with him. It's just like, it's quite rare that Italian players come to the Premier League.
And when they do, they get thrown under the bus by Arna.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Or do their ACLs on their debut, unluckily, like.
Yeah, or do that. Yeah, Schlotterbeck. I don't see why it's unrealistic. Like the only issue is Real Madrid. Like I don't see, or well, actually Bayern Munich are actually a massive threat. But Barcelona I don't see as a threat really at all at this point. Those two clubs, I think, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, and Man City, Arsenal are the big five in Europe now. So, and PSG, big six. So those are the six that are really competing. Barcelona, I think, are a level below that now. So if we go in and buy and don't, I think we're pretty much favourites for him.
I did see Bastoni like the post from some Barcelona fan account that said, "Come to Barca, bro." I mean, it could mean nothing, but I mean,
the finances at Barca are so ridiculous, though. They can't afford that now, surely.
I think with the new revitalized Camp Nou and the fact that they're selling, I think they've sold off like 100 million quid's worth of posh seats to some investment fund or something like that. You just never know, man. There's a lever everywhere, apparently. Maybe Spotify, go in again. I don't know.
Barcelona wrapped, just everything you can want, everything you get. Like just they'll sell anything. Just please give us money.
So I want to come on to the exciting last name on the list that we were talking about off air before we went live. But I want to caveat why I think this is possible now, maybe in January. A report again today said that AC Milan are interested in Joe Gomez, and a move that they tried to get at the very, very, very end of the window that obviously time beat them on, and Liverpool didn't get Mark A. So there's talk that could happen again, but Liverpool would only sanction it if they can find a replacement. And that's the part that kind of made me think, well, okay, if that report has some truth to it, then Liverpool must be looking. So the name, Connor, that I'm going to bring up is a name that we've scouted extensively behind the scenes and had a look at, and that is Joel Ordonez. Plays for Club Brugge, 21 years of age. I knew he came through the Independiente del Valle system in Ecuador, but I didn't quite know how many great players they brought through till you researched it, mate, and found that, 3 in the last few seasons alone had come through and gone on to good things from this club.
Yeah, who was this? Was Caicedo, Pacho, and Hincapié, wasn't it? Like 3 very good players.
Not too shabby for an Ecuadorian club to have produced over the last few years, and now Ordonez.
Yeah, like he looks like he's destined for the top if you're going off that, to be fair. Like, I can't say I've watched a huge amount of Belgian football, but like anything you do see of him, he looks class. Like, he's still so young as well. Like the fact that he looks so good and he is that young, like he is just like a superstar in the making, really. And I think we could do far worse than getting him in, but I still wouldn't be selling Joe Gomez. I think we still need at least 4 options this season, so I definitely wouldn't be shipping him off in January. The summer, fair enough, but definitely wouldn't be selling him in January. But yeah, Joel Ordonez is definitely one to keep an eye on.
Well, if you offered me right now one or the other of those 2 players, I'm going for Ordonez because I think Joe will probably pick up another injury or 2 anyway. But on Joe Gomez, Chris, before I come to you for your take on Joe Gomez, before we talk about Ordonez, I want to say I have nothing but absolute respect, admiration, and gratitude to Joe Gomez for the 10 years plus service he's given to our football club. And I think he's earned the right to decide whether he goes to play more regularly or not. He's been so unlucky with injuries, but the man is a model professional that deserves, and we've talked about Salah's send-off in the future, and the ones Firmino got. Joe deserves it, and his testimonial and everything that goes along with it, mate. An absolute fantastic servant to our club.
Absolute legend. Yeah, I think you epitomise it pretty much straight on there. I think he is probably one of the biggest what-ifs at Liverpool. I don't think we'd be here talking about any other centre-backs if he'd stayed injury-free. Like, he at his peak, alongside Van Dijk, even outperformed Van Dijk at certain points. Like, we're talking about a real one of England's best centre-backs of the generation if he stayed injury-free, but he still had an incredible career. Part of me hopes he stays because I still think he's a really good option. But like, as you said, like he's totally earned the right if he wants to go and play more football. And if a club like AC Milan comes calling at this sort of time in your career, you're sort of like, well, I kind of fancy that. I mean, I probably would if I was Joe Gomez. If AC Milan came in and said, look, you can come in and play 3 out of 4 games and it'll be a key part of our squad. Why not? Got a full English contingent out there already. Crack on.
He gets to play with the LeBron James of soccer as well. I mean,
in great form as well, Christine Pulisic, isn't he? Ready for the World Cup.
Again, and one Liverpool legend departing there in Divock Origi, who's about to depart Milan. Another one coming straight away. On Joel Ordonez, Chris, another really attractive part of this for me is the price tag, rumoured to be only about 30 to 35 million pound, and he's 21 years of age. So that's a nice little sweet spot age-wise as well.
Great age, as they would say on Soccer AM back in the day. He is the stereotypical Michael Edwards signing. He's in that 30 to 35 million zone is very FSG, isn't it? Like they love that. That is their sort of like the money they're willing to spend on someone who they back. And I think that sort of age is right as well. As we were talking about earlier about the sort of profile of centre-backs we've signed in recent years. Konate, I think, was 21 when we signed him. Leone, 18. Going forward, I mean, we're not really signed many centre halves of sort of that are slightly older anymore. We sort of go for these players, and yeah, look, if we go for Ordonez, he looks like a really big physical profile, 6'1", 6'2", I think. Good on the ball, just like every centre back is these days. And if you're not good on the ball, you wouldn't make it to a Belgian league level. And the Caicedo, Pacho, Hincapié trio, he's only going to be good, really, isn't he? Unless we get, how like there was that photo of Endrick, Esteval, and Luis Guilherme, and West Ham got the shit one. I really hope we don't get the shit one. But I think he's pretty good.
He's also building up some good experience at top level European competition as well. And you could have a little chat with Simon Mignolet about, what life's been like at Liverpool as well.
Brugge.
Club Brugge. I love saying it like that. It brings out the real football hipster in me.